Larry here, back again for another video on the Leoy channel. Today I wanted to talk about, I want to revisit, I should say, kitchen knives. I did a video about this, about 2017. I think I was about 50 pounds lighter and still had no hair, but whatever. And did a quick video about different types of kitchen knives you're going to use. Some ceramic knives, chef knife, paring knife, and then I had my personal knife that I had made. So nothing really much has changed as far as what I'm using, but I do want to talk about some new tools that you might want to consider in the kitchen. Now, like last video, this is my knife, okay? I designed it, I had it made, it took a couple of months. This is all hand-forged, steel, sharpened, still incredibly sharp after 4+ years of using it, and I have not sharpened it once. The gentleman who made this for me, unfortunately, became ill and no longer makes knives. So I'm a little saddened by that because I have a few more that I want him to make, but it is what it is. You guys remember this knife from that last video? This is my Home Hero chef knife. I got this in a set. It came with an acrylic case, kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones. They all stood up. For like less than 20 bucks on Amazon. Comes with a chef knife, a paring knife, a vegetable knife, a bread knife, and then one of these. But I liked it so much that I wanted to add it to my travel case. So I went out and I bought just another one of these. Under $10 on Amazon, Home Hero chef knife. It does really well. It holds an edge for a while. And I mean, it's $10, so you can't expect miracles with it. Another knife that I carry with me in my case, which is my travel case, that when I go to either a client's house or when I travel and I want to cook for myself, I always bring my own knives, is another small cook's knife. It's about 5 inches, 5-6 inches of a blade. Very light, very sturdy. It actually reminds me of my other knife, and the funny part is I got this 8 years ago, and again, still holds an edge, still pretty sharp, and it comes with its own little plastic carrying case. So these are all different knives that you could use in the kitchen. So those are the ones that I have, that I travel with, and the ones that you've already seen in my last video. But what I didn't show you guys is some other tools that you could use. Another type of knife is what they call the Santoku blade, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's basically, it looks like this. It's a chef knife, but it doesn't come to a point like a drop edge like this one does. See the difference in blades? This is a little bit thicker all the way, and it doesn't come to a point like this one does. And if you notice, you can see those little ridges in the blade itself. That's, I'm assuming, from what I read, that is so food doesn't get stuck, and it actually kind of like creates an air pocket and slides right off. This is a KitchenAid, less than $20. You can find it at Target, Walmart, anywhere. It's actually pretty good. Not my favorite in the world, only because it's really just straight, and there's no rocking action that you could really do. So it's not my favorite in the world, but it'll serve its purpose. You just got to be careful with the handles. This is, has a metal hilt and blade, so kind of the corner of it catches your hand. Something to think about. Okay? Now, another tool that pretty much every cook should have in the kitchen, it's a little bit different than a knife, but every cook should have it in the kitchen, every chef, everybody who touches food regularly should have this in the kitchen. A fork. Not just like a dinner fork, but a fork. A carving fork, or sometimes they call it a cook's fork. It's basically just to stab and hold, so you could actually slice. You've seen it with the meat and different things. Some probably use it on Thanksgiving when you're cutting your turkey. But these are incredibly good because not only are they used to just stab and hold. You can actually use them with a pasta dish. You could take it and twist it and get that nice cone shape of pasta that you see from restaurants and celebrity chefs and all that fun stuff. These are really good to have. This one I just picked up, again, off of Amazon, nothing crazy, $15. It's sturdy metal. The handle is solid. The last one I had, the handle was held on by rivets and it just cracked and it broke. And the blade is just super flimsy. This is nice and thick. This is not going anywhere unless I break it. So that's a great tool to have in the kitchen because it's versatile. You could use it to hold things down. You could use it to, if you're going to do meal staging and plating and all that stuff, this is a great tool to have. Okay, so I'm excited I haven't used it yet, so I'm excited to use that. Another one, which might look familiar, but it's not, is a vegetable slicer. Okay, I call it a mini meat cleaver. Alrighty, it looks very similar to my design here, right? Except this is bigger. And it's literally designed to, they call it a vegetable slicer. So it slices vegetables. Okay. And you could chop it with it, you could slice with it. Obviously you can't stab anything with it, and that's not sharp there. There's no blade there. Okay? See, I'm just rubbing my finger on that. Blade is here. So it actually reduces chances of accidents. But with this little corner tip here, you can do some rocking. So if you're cutting up chives or scallion or basil, cilantro, any of the herbs, this would be a great knife to have. Okay? Again, got it off of Amazon. After some research, I think less than $30. Another one of my favorite knives that I use. It comes with a cute little box with some felt and a nice little terry cloth that you can actually keep it clean and safe, because you're spending money on these things, you want to keep them for a while. Now lastly, I think every cook should have a cleaver of some sort. Not like this. This is a mini cleaver, I call it. And you're not going to go out and spend a couple of $100s to have one made, because the weight of this is more than the weight of this, and this is smaller and of less material. See? But the weight of this, because it's solid steel straight through, is heavier. Everybody should have some type of cleaver. You're going to be dealing with bones, probably, if you're going to, use leftover turkey. Like I said, Thanksgiving, you can use a fork. You're going to deal with bones. You're going to come into them. You're going to come into ligaments and tendons and stuff if you kept in the freezer and you should really need to separate it. A cleaver is the best thing to have. They're great for just chopping. Literally just chopping. Well, at the same time, a skilled cook can actually use a cleaver to slice and really, really cut and mince vegetables and garlic and all that stuff using a giant meat cleaver. And I've seen it done quite often, and I've tried it myself with this ginormous cleaver that I have at home. But what I find funny is, because I travel and I'm an outdoors person, I figured if I'm outside, I need one knife to pretty much do it all. So I introduce the tactical cleaver. This sucker right here easily weighs 6 pounds. It is huge. Giant metal handle. You could do a lot of damage with that. And that blade is solid metal through and through. Sharp. It will crack anything. Bones, walnuts, tree stumps, anything. Disclaimer, this is a joke. You're not going to use this in the kitchen, okay? It comes with a plastic sheath as well. I just thought it was funny. But a cleaver of this shape is definitely beneficial for you in the kitchen. I just like this one, and I carry this one because it looks cool. Imagine showing up with something like this to a barbecue. Like, all right, I got the ribs. And just pop, pop. That thing will shatter everything. And you make a statement while you do it. So. But these are the knives that I use in my kitchen. your knives might be different. You might just stick to one or two, which is fine. You get the job done. You don't need anything else. Any chef will have probably a roll that has a few knives in it, but that's theirs. The ones that they use, they're comfortable with, and they create the magic with. You work with works best for you. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not trying to tell you which ones to buy. You could spend $30 on a knife and be satisfied. You could spend $200+ on a knife specifically for you. You could spend $10 on a knife and be incredibly satisfied. It all depends on your level of comfort and your level of pretty much desire on what you want to do. So in the kitchen, there is an immense amount of tools that can be used. Like everything, please be safe. These are not toys. You have to be careful with them. Try to keep kids away. If you want to start learning a child early on, nothing wrong with that. Both of my sons know how to use a knife because I have taught them since they were children. They're almost 14 and 11 now. Oh boy. Anyway. But in the kitchen, we have tools. We use them. We have to maintain them. We have to be careful with them. Right? Sky's the limit. You're only limited by your imagination. Thank you, Ratatouille. And until next time, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. There's some more videos coming to you. We're going to be cooking. We're going to be probably using most of this stuff, and you get to see it in action. So thanks again for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you again. Have a good one.